What's up, everybody? A Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. And we're starting things off today with the Red Rocket Shop? Inn? Gas station? I forget what the name is. Red Rocket something. Station, I think. So, for those of you that may be unfamiliar, this is actually a abandoned post-apocalyptic gas station from Fallout 4. And I have to say, this is a pretty darn good recreation, especially since it's vanilla. And my particular things that stood out to me is this not curved, but somewhat slanted awning with the rocket part being vanilla is kind of crazy to me. They did a really good job with this kind of stuff. It is a little bit off the ground. That was from how I pasted it in. I believe the actual planet that was used in the thumbnail didn't have the grass, and when I put it all the way through the grass was coming up through the ground, and I didn't like it as much, so I pushed it a little bit up, and the underneath, some of the working stuff still got caught in the grid, so it still became stable. So that's why, like, you can see through to the ground and stuff. All that stuff should be kind of ground level. But yeah, I was very impressed with the overall accuracy, but not only that, but also just this rocket awning stuff and things like that. And actually I just realized without a mod, this is actually all done with blocks and slants and stuff too, so that's really clever. Really, really well done on that front. Especially, I love some of them being broken, because like I said, it's, for those of you that may or may not be, I'd be very surprised if there was people out there who really weren't aware of Fallout and stuff when you're watching Space Engineers and stuff like that in video games and things, because it's kind of a big deal in video games. But yeah, being the dystopian thing, a lot of stuff is supposed to be broken and dilapidated and things like that, and kind of falling into disrepair. So the wireframe stuff like that. But like I said, I just kind of took that for granted of like, oh, that's cool, they did that, but that's not using a letter mod or anything, so it's actually, like, in-game with the blocks. That's really actually cool. What did they use here? Oh, so that's two ramp noses stuck together. Okay. I was like, that's awful thin. That's really cool. I know. As you got this cool stuff with all the little details, like all the tires and stuff, and I get hung up on the lettering. I know. It's me. And there's even stuff in the dumpster. That's cool. So yeah, we got the vending machines out here, complete with Hydrocola. Actually, wait a minute. That should have been Nuka-Cola. So that's a nice little fun hat nod to the hydrogen thing. It's a blend of Space Engineers meets Fallout. That's cool. We have the office back here, and we can't loot that. Stuff-o-matic. I don't remember what the actual... That might be the actual thing from the game, I'm not sure. And then we got the power armor rack. And, oh, this is cool. Okay, so I really like this. I've been trying to focus a lot more on lighting lately. And I noticed this. This is kind of cool. So they did a double corner light on the small grid, the small version, and then recessed them so you don't actually get the bright glow, but it just casts a little bit of a overhead light. That's really cool. And once again, using the half blocks in a creative way to space it away from the wall. That's pretty clever. Okay, now hold on. How did this work? Ah! Okay. There isn't actually a block there. It's made to look like there's a block there, but there isn't. I was like, wait a minute. How are these two grids talking to each other? But they're not. So that's something that has definitely improved interiors with vanilla and stuff like that, has been the addition of the 2-block ramp blocks and the half blocks and stuff like that has definitely boosted people's creativity and ability to do stuff. Now this, I'm curious about this, because this is blast door block, but it says garage door, so let's see how this works. Okay, so is it just... It looks like it's just a blast door section with a piston. But I wonder where it's actually going, because that doesn't retract like a... I guess there's just enough height here to actually do... Oh, there's the piston. Okay. That's cool. And up here we've got the little rotor attachment piece that allows you to do the little slant, and a rotor piece that allows you to do that part. So that's pretty freaking cool. Oh, and it's got a spotlight too, so at night it would actually be... I thought that was awful bright. So that's really cool. Like I said, overall, it's not like a huge build or anything like that, but I love the level of detail and stuff to it. I think it was really, really well done. And lest anybody forget, that's essentially the entire point of the Inspiration series, was to inspire new builds through learning more building techniques and such and things from other builders. So it's not necessarily like, oh, this is the biggest, best ship ever, but it actually has some really cool techniques, like using this kind of stuff is an interesting idea too, to give you a little hollow shape. So a lot of this stuff is really cool, and it's things I'd like to learn more of how to do and get better at, because it allows you to do a lot more cooler things. Like this is actually pretty neat. This is using the half slope ramps with the base ramp blocks to make a elongated curve. That's really clever too. It's a nice use of the new half blocks. It is mostly survival ready, for those of you that are interested, I believe. I don't know if it's in this sign or what, but there's supposed to be a reactor somewhere towards the front here. I haven't seen one. Oh, there it is. There it is. So there's a reactor here. It has obviously like the hydrogen bottles and stuff like that stored in it. Things like that. So it's mostly survival ready and that kind of stuff, but it doesn't have all the different machines and things, so it wouldn't be a fully functioning base. But anyways, I think that's going to wrap this one up. I do like this sign too. I don't think there's anything I can really do with it. These are all LCD screens, but I think that's going to do it for this one, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, so next up we have the RCSP Cerberus battlecruiser, and according to the description, this was basically designed as an assistant battlecruiser type thing, where it's supposed to basically help out other ships in a combat situation. I don't think it's actually designed, according to the description anyway, just going off of what that said, it's not really designed as like a just dreadnought take on anything. It's mostly for a fire support type of thing, from what I gathered. Though it has a lot of guns on it, so it wouldn't surprise me if it could easily hold its own. One thing that I noticed right off the top of my head is this bridge area looks really cool. I like the glass ceiling. I mean, it's glass, so it's me. I also like that they did the front kind of like an actual ship type of thing. I think that's pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure what all the naming things are, but there's a name for this front part that sticks out on the bottom. I wanted to say keel, but I think keel basically covers most of the whole bottom part of the hull, so I could be wrong about that. But there's a name for that, and it's kind of like a... if my memory actually serves, it's kind of like an older design. I don't know that they do it as much anymore, but they used to do it on like battleships and stuff, so I thought that was kind of a nice touch for a battlecruiser. I also like the little wings. I don't know that they actually serve a purpose. I don't know if there's any thrusters or anything in them, but they look cool. According to the description, it is fit for no atmosphere to lunar atmosphere, but I don't think it's designed to fly in a planet and atmosphere. So keep that in mind if you are interested in using it. It also looks like this may be... yeah, this is probably an unpressurized area. Which, how am I walking that close to whatever this is? Normally you can't walk that close to them. Anyways. Does this have an auto script? I guess it does. Because it keeps closing stuff. Engineering also seems like it may be non-pressurized? Unless that was just, it didn't have any here. I don't know. But we have the oxygen generator down here. We got some information readouts. This is actually a pretty cool engineering room. I will say, thus far, the interiors size actually surprises me a bit. I even though this is said to be a battlecruiser, from the outside it just didn't look like it had much interior space. So that's kind of a... Oh, that's probably for thruster maintenance. So that's kind of a cool little happy surprise kind of thing, is that there's actually a bit to explore down here. It does use the damage diagnostic readout thing that's kind of become fairly common amongst ship designs. I still say that's kind of definitely got to be a hallmark or a benchmark of knowing that you did a good job on something, when it basically becomes standard on most every build kind of thing, like the M-Masters LCD screens and the floor plan diagnostic one. I forget who did that one. The description actually mentioned the credit for those scripts, but, you know, when basically every vanilla ship now kind of runs with those, probably did a good job, just saying. They are really cool scripts. So we've got some fighters here that it can drop out of the hangar. They're designed to be able to drop out and come back, and I believe it was designed for lunar. So even if you're on a moon, it should be able to deploy and retrieve its fighters. Oh, this was that long hallway that I didn't go down. Okay. Alright, we got some batteries down here. Let's see where this goes. Ooh, a very freaky walkway. That's cool. And this... I don't know if this is like the back door into the bridge or what. Okay, that doesn't really have anything different. I saw the little catwalk over there and I thought maybe it might have a different thing on the sides. Apparently not. Man, this ship is still going. Like I said, I'm very surprised. I guess we haven't had gravity this whole time. I'm very surprised by the overall size of the interior of this ship. It's very deceiving. Let's see. Right assembler room. Oh, okay. So here's the assemblers. Those, efficiency modules and stuff must be for a refinery then? Yeah, because it's 4 of them, so that's probably the back of the refinery. It also looks like we have a hangar door here, but there's no controls for it. So I'm not really sure where you would access that from. That's the production. This is the med bay. So you got your cryo chambers, your medical bay, all that good stuff. Oh, oh! I thought that was another floor. I was like, good grief, we got another one? No, just a window. Okay, let's see if we can track down where that hangar would come in at. It must be in the actual hangar area over here that we jumped off from, maybe? Because I didn't go all the way down here. Wait a minute. Now I'm getting a little turned around here. Not gonna lie. Okay, so that's the beacon. Oh yeah, we have a gravity generator. I wonder why I latched onto the wall then. Oh, this goes down. Okay, so this is the main entry point, and then that's the bridge. Alright, now I'm back. I couldn't figure out where I was for a minute there. Okay. More thrusters there. Wow, there's still more places to go. Yeah, we got some block damage there. I wonder if that's from... the thrusters, if that's on purpose, or if that's... Well, those could be curves, actually. Let's find out. Whoa! Whoa, whoa. Okay, that's weird. Oh, okay. To get a different angle, they actually use inverted corners. Huh. Well, that's new. I hadn't thought of that before. we've had some interesting developments in this episode here with these building techniques. This is probably for batteryman gyroscope maintenance, I would imagine. Okay, so I still don't really have a means of getting through that hangar door, which confuses me a bit. Let's see, can we just... all interior doors, interior lights, left hangar door, right hangar door, that's good. Mid-section airtight doors, let's try that. Because I'm guessing the hangar ones are going to be these for the fighters, so... there's a mid-section that's sealed off, and then you can get to the med bay, assembler, and production, and all that stuff from this direction. It's kind of a cool thing, like I especially love the thrusters behind the glass thing. It's cool. I don't really know exactly why that's there, though. Only because you can still access that without going through here, so unless this is predominantly for, like, thruster maintenance or something, which is probably what it's actually here for. I'm not really sure why else that would be there. Alright, onto the bridge. The start of the show. Okay, we got all turrets, red alert, the beacon, oh, and an emergency beacon. So there's 2 beacons, it looks like. Or one's an antenna, possibly. Alright. So, overall, the ship, like, bridge layout is fairly normal, and there's nothing too crazy about this, but like I said before, my main thing that I like about this is the open glass view type of deal. I really, really like that. One thing, though, is I'm not really sure which seat is actually supposed to be the pilot seat. So, stop distance, dampeners, jump drive... I guess this one? Unless there isn't really a main, which is possible. Oh, I didn't realize there was actually a glass canopy over the stairwell in the middle, too. So yeah, overall, I really like this. It's got a pretty interesting design to it. All turrets... we've got some lights and connector controls, as well as antennas and beacons. So you got turrets, which... obviously are kind of fairly self-sustaining. And then we've got the rockets that I believe are the 2 out the front. Yeah. Alright, let's check how she moves. Actually, movement I'm very surprised with for the size and stuff of the ship for vanilla thrusters. It actually moves really well. Though, I will say I think the description mentioned hydrogen thrusters were predominantly for... fighting the lunar gravity, so the fact that they're on and we're out in space without gravity is probably why it's moving that much better. So with that, I think that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the last one. Okay, so last but not least, we have the Revelation class assault carrier, which... pretty much speaks for itself. The thing looks based. It's hitting my frames a little bit, but it seems okay, so we're going to try and show it off a little bit. It is a vanilla build, which is crazy to me. It has a ton of stuff. Like, there's... I think it even mentioned that there's actually 2 Corvettes-size ships in here, as well as drones and fighters, and like it's a beast. This thing's a beast. And I actually really like this back section. It looks actually, I thought it was the con tower type thing, but it actually looks more like hangars. So I really like that effect. I'm not honestly sure where the bridge is now. I guess it's over there, where that looks, that other con tower looking thingy. I really thought this was, but yeah, that's cool. The hangar, the whole ship exterior design is really interesting because it's very different to me. Oh, it's even got rear hangars. I mean, it is a carrier. Like, the thing carries stuff. It's got a lot of stuff, and of course we do have the flickering light issue. That's not intended. That's with the game. So these are actually, I thought maybe it would have, like, doors on both ends or something, but this actually is two different hangars. Like, it actually has aft hangars, which is cool, especially for a carrier style when you're relying mostly on fighters and ships and stuff. That, down here, by the looks of things, actually is one of the probably Corvette-sized, I'm thinking. Because that thing's pretty big. Oh, that's what those are for. I thought those were little cradles for a fighter, but they're actually for landing gears. Huh. So yeah, it's even got its own Corvette-sized ships going on in here, which is crazy. The thing is huge. Like, and according to the description, I did not read everything, because the description was very long, or fairly long at least, if nothing else, but I got the gist of it and kind of glossed over some of the stuff because I knew I probably wasn't going to be dealing with the fighters and stuff like that. I like to show them off, but ooh, that is a cool looking fighter actually. I like to show them, but as far as testing them out and flying them and everything, I typically don't tend to do that unless the fighter itself is the build I'm wanting to show off. So we've got interior hangar pads for these. Oh, that's cool. They're on, like, rotors so that they're at an angle. That's really neat. I like that. Actually, what is this? Is this all catwalks? Oh, it's all interior walls. Huh. Because I really like the paneled look. That's a really neat effect. Typically, everybody uses, like, standard just steel blocks, but I like this paneled type style, too. That's pretty cool. Ooh, and there's a hollow part. I don't know why. The description and stuff didn't mention anything like this, but I keep getting Imperial vibes, like from Star Wars. It's not a triangle, it's not a Star Destroyer, but like some of the lighting all the way around the hangar doors and a lot of the gray paneling with some of this stuff where there's windows that just look out into big drops and things. It's just very reminiscent to like Death Star, Star Destroyer architecture kind of thing. To me, anyway. I think so. Let's go ahead and start poking our nose in here. I am getting a little bit of sim speed effect by the looks of things. Thankfully, my frame rate is not too terrible. I'm floating between 20 and 25, which is probably not too noticeable for you guys. If it dips below 20, it starts getting, like, a little bit framey. But normally somewhere between 20 and 30 is doable. But I'm noticing I'm moving kind of slow for holding the running button. And I am... Yeah, see, like, there's a 15. There's a 15 moment. Staircase 3. I am totally lost in here, by the way. Crew quarters, shuttle hangar. That just says staircase 3. I don't know where 3 goes. Section 3. Hallway low. Reactor room. Okay. I'm probably going to end up flying through some of this just so we can move a little bit faster. What do we got here? Mess hall, exit, crew quarters, and shuttle bay goes that way. The reactor... So that's... Reactor's probably the only thing down here by the looks of things. And I'm completely ignoring there is a... an airtight airlock system in play. Ooh, what is going on here? And why does it look so cool? I'm not really sure what purpose the tires would serve, but they kind of add an interesting pipe-like effect. Maybe that's what it was supposed to be. So that's kind of cool. It doesn't look like there's any other access points through here, so this is seemingly just the reactor room. But yeah, there is a whole airlock thing with lights and stuff on whether or not things are pressurized and so on and so forth, but I'm kind of just ignoring it at this point. Mainly because I don't have time to deal with that. And it is creative, so, you know. It's not like I can really die. Oof. I am moving really, really slow, though. I'm very taken aback by the paneling look, though. That's just something that you don't really see very often. Okay, so this is that main hallway corridor thing. Or just, yeah, so this is the windows we were looking at before. Okay. Staircase 2. Fighter hangar, life pods, cryo bay, hangar, outside pads, upper hallway. Okay, maintenance. So we've got timer blocks. Oh, they're even labeled. Wow, cool. And there's something I really want to play around with to the point that I might actually just jump up and go check out the bridge. Apparently, this ship utilizes something called a tilt engine. I'm not really familiar with what exactly that means. If I've noticed it or dealt with it before, it's not ringing a bell. But how cool is that, though, that it's actually all labeled? That was a really, really nice touch, and that probably was a very tedious process, unless it was used by a script or something to just auto-rename everything. Let's see. Outside pads. Hallway up. I don't really know where I am at this point. I guess this is the second hallway upper part, or it's the same one. Mess hall. Let's go that way. Crew quarters, shuttle bay reactor. Okay, that's all that way. Staircase 3. Exit and mess hall is this way. Where's the bridge? I need to find the bridge. Okay, we got mess hall crew. Ooh! Ah, here we go, the directory. Section 1, Deck A, Drone Control, Forward Command Center, Auxiliary Hangar, Corvette Hangar 1 and 2, Garage, Upper and Lower. Section 2 is Outside Pads, Fighter Hangar 1 and 2, Cryopods, or Cryo Bays and Life Pods, Upper Hallways, Lower Hallways. Cockpit is in Section 4, Rear Command Center, Outside, Exit and Mess Hall, Quarters and Shuttle, and Reactor and Cargo. Mess Hall, Officer Quarters, and Recreation. Alright, so we're at Section 4, Deck D. So we are at Exits and Mess Halls. So we need to go to B and A. B and A. That's Staircase 4. That's the exit signs. Well, let's check out the Mess Hall first. I mean, we're right here. We could pick up a snack. Oh, this is actually cool. It's actually pretty cool. It's got the little, like, serving area thing with menu screens. I'm not sure if these lights are off by default or if it's that lighting glitch where they should be active and they're not. I'm kind of feeling like it might be the glitch. Anyways, so this is actually a pretty crazy mess hall. It's like upper floors and everything. It's a double-decker mess hall. I guess we're going to go for Staircase 4. Because we're in Section 4. Okay, so decks are up and down. That makes sense. So we're in Section 4, Deck D, so we need to go up to C and A. Let's see if I'm right about my navigation skills here. Yep. We're headed in the right direction. So we don't want to go further into a different section, though I don't think there is one. This is the recreation area. I'm guessing... Oh, no, there's not spotlights there. I was going to say, I'm guessing these would actually turn on and do like a disco light, like a dance floor or something. But there's no spotlights there, so unless those corner lights could do it, I suppose. Okay. Section 5, Mess Hall Officer, Deck C. There we go. Now it said rear. It said rear command center, which is odd, because I'm pretty sure we moved more towards the nose? Unless I really screwed up and pasted this thing backwards and have been thinking the wrong direction, which is entirely possible. I went by the thumbnail, so if I did that, then, you know, don't blame me. Because I went by the thumbnail, but I could have entirely misinterpreted that that was the back. So I'm kind of thinking that now. From the look of it, it really looked that way from all the pictures, but reading how the floor plans lay out, this is the rear command center, and it's Section 4, which I'm really kind of thinking, yeah, I totally pasted this in backwards and have been looking at it the wrong direction. Holy crap. Okay, so ramp status is closed. That's good. Repair. I'm guessing that means it's offline. Use remote control block to pilot. Toolbar 2, docking. Connector, docking, landing gears unlocked, garage ramp, spotlights, tilt status, space, and atmo. There's 2 different, I guess, settings. Use remote block to pilot. General flight is toolbar 1. Emergency jump. Destination jump drive. Align reticle, which is the 6 button. And then 9 is the engine tilt. So let's get in here and see what havoc we can cause. So yeah, apparently I have this thing facing the wrong way. I will need to fix that. So that explains why there were no thrusters at the back of the ship. So yeah, the hangar's actually the nose, apparently. I mean, okay, this is just me. I feel like if you look at the ship this way, I feel like that's an honest mistake. That kind of looks like how it could go. Maybe? Alright, let's try this. So we're in the remote control block at this point. And it's either moving very, very slowly, or I don't have control over the gyroscopes. Because it is moving very, very slow, or not at all. Emergency jump, destination, toggle, repair. So the tilt engine, I don't know how this works. So let's just push buttons. Okay, so I hit the tilt engine. The engines are off now, which it said it re-engages when it has done doing its thing, I suppose. But I'm not really seeing it do anything. Curious. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, now I get it. It's actually rotating the thrusters inside the engine block. That's trippy. I can't zoom in any further, unfortunately. I'm trying to, but it's not working. So how does this work? I'm kind of confused. Is it now, like, when it stops, now it's vertical? Okay, we always have a little bit of thrust going in the different directions. I'm not really sure how this works. I can't really tell, and my sim speed is low enough, and it's moving so slow that I'm having difficulty actually identifying how this is really working. Moving is not a good idea. Okay, so yeah. The idea is interesting if it's doing what I think it's doing, but I have to be honest and say that I don't really know because I can't quite get a good view of it, and I can't really move the ship without it kind of screwing up my sim speed stuff, and it's not really working right. So I don't think it's a problem with the build. I think it's just too much for my system to handle it moving and stuff like that while it's doing stuff. So the idea of the tilt engine thing is cool, but I don't fully understand how it actually works, and it might be it may only be an atmospheric thing as well. I'm not really positive. Like the light thing has changed to where now it's space and atmosphere type of thing. So there's probably something to do with that where it's switching to atmospheric thrusters or a different angle to compensate for the gravity or something like that. But anyways, so I'm going to wrap things up here for this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.